Well, we are about 10 miles or so southwest of downtown Los Angeles at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Los Angeles Chargers. The kicker, Dustin Hopkins, set to get this one going. And we are underway in Southern California. No run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25. Miles Sanders, first carry of the game. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid game.
And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense the next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
Well, they go with a tight end carry. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old-school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. From the 44, Hurts. Eluding the pressure right.
Ask any pass rusher, and they'll tell you any quarterback who lines up every time and goes straight back in the pocket, that's who they want. But when they have to deal with a Jalen Hurts who may come at them from any angle and can get outside of the pocket and run, that's a nightmare for anybody who has to rush the quarterback. And I love Jalen Hurts' athletic ability. Almost a 4.6 runner. This guy can get outside the pocket and make plays with his legs as well as his arm.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Justin Jones there on the stop.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Hurts a handoff to Sanders. He's able to work free for about 6 down to the 18.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Throwing is Hurts. And he finds the tight end Rodgers. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
We're scoreless after one. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Here's Sanders. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. Actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to. But
open man, he's got him. That's Smith for the Philadelphia touchdown. 8 yards on the touchdown pass. And the Eagles drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. He's got it, and the Eagles lead at 7-zip. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And he'll maybe get it back to the 25 here on the first play, but no more than that. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Off the play fake to Eckler, it's Herbert. Rolling to his right. Finds the open man, it's Mike Williams. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
They talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
Herbert jet sweep as he taps it forward. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. Second down and 3. A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down. Now it's Herbert. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
Well, this is simply a great read by a defensive back. It's 3rd and 10, so he sits right on where the yard-to-gain marker is, knows it's going to be a route around that distance, makes his read, breaks on the football, and makes a terrific play.
And down inside the 15 he goes. 51 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through them.
They'll run with Sanders. The broken tackle could not free him as he's brought down at the 10-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
This is caught. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receiver.
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. A 1-yard touchdown run for Miles Sanders. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Elliott good on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Charger drive about to get going. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
From the 44, Herbert. And this is caught. First catch for Keenan Allen. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Herbert on first down now. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Cook. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. Throwing again on second down. Herbert, he'll buy some time right. It's complete to Cook. Touchdown! Jared Cook, 30 yards. And the Chargers are on the board here in the final minute of the first half. Dustin Hopkins on now to add the extra point. And that one makes it 14-7. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And with a 14-7 lead, they might just be happy to take this thing on into the tunnel. A good push there from that offensive line as Sanders able to take that forward for a gain of about 6 on first down. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. From the 31, Hurts. That is caught. It's the tight end Goddard. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. He'll get this out wide to Scott. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll bring up second down. Off the play fake, here's Hurts. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And, oh, that would get a wide up incomplete. Nearly an interception in the end zone. Probably should have been. Third down coming up. come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Hurts sets up to throw it. Looking here for Smith downfield. And this is caught inside the 5. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. A big play that time through the air. 33 yards. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. Hurts. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. They'll throw now on the final play. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Richard Rodgers. As time expires in the first half. And the Eagles will extend their lead here just before halftime. Elliott now to add the extra point. It's good, and it is now 21-7. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Chargers going to get the football first here in this second half, and they trail as we get back underway. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Charger drive about to get going. And they're on the short end of the scoreboard here. And Charles, what adjustments, if any, do you think they need to make for the second half?
Well, paraphrasing the gold medal hockey winning coach Herb Brooks, I just say you continue to play your game. Throw the ball. They had success doing it in the first half, so make sure you keep getting the ball to your playmakers, a little bit more to the perimeter perhaps, but above all, play your game.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
On first down, Justin Herbert. He's got it to Williams. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that can really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Herbert off of play action. Finding Williams once more, complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Play action this time for Justin Herbert. And that went a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
To throw on 2nd and 10, Herbert. That's into the hands of Eckler. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. Austin Eckler, 36 yards. And the Chargers have made this a one-score game. Hopkins with the extra point, and that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a one-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a one-score game, they know this is where you need to slow the momentum change, because otherwise that could overrun your team. You've got to be careful right here.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They'll go again with Sanders. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 80 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Here comes Sanders on the toss right. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7 reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On the ground with a tight end. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Flushed out right. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. It'll go as a loss of 3 on the sack, and it brings up 3rd down. Here's Hurts to throw. He'll hit Watkins on the crossing route. And he's brought to the ground with another 1st down at the Chargers' 18. So they'll, of course, decline the pass interference there and wisely take the yardage.
And I think defensively he's saying, I was getting away with that in the first half. Why are you making that call now? But to me, that one was pretty easy to see. I don't understand what he's upset about. I think it was the correct call.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Sanders. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Sanders. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown, you're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the 2nd one.
Look at this, a tight end carry. And that play's not going to get him in as he stopped right at about the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. They'll try to run with Sanders. And looking for a lane, but none to be found for Sanders as they stop him short of the line to gain. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. The kick by Elliott is good. And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. So that one, CD, going to make the road back a lot more difficult.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. You know they were praying on the other sideline for a miss because now, as you pointed out, a very difficult road. Down 2 scores. You don't just need a touchdown. You need a chain of events to go your way. You've got to score, somehow get the ball back, and score again. The odds of that happening, not great in your favor.
The Charger drive about to get going. And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. On 1st down, it's Herbert. Got his man, it's Williams. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving. Got to be wary of throwing an interception here because the defense knows they're going to get tested deep. That's why they're going to put a couple of extra guys back there to try and prevent that.
Yeah, late in the 4th quarter here, trying to preserve the lead. Herbert back to the air. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
Herbert. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a 1st down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Cook. And the Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. Now Herbert. They'll get this over the middle here to Palmer. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive. Herbert going to throw.
Fired that one in there.
Touchdown, Chargers. Jared Cook, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Chargers have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. So now a big play coming up as the Chargers are going to go for 2. Herbert to throw. And they're going to get the 2. It's caught. And the lead is cut to 2 here in the 4th. So down only 2 now. Still a chance to finagle their way into field goal range if they can get this onside kick. And they've got it. They recovered it. But hang on now, though. There's a penalty flag down. A big mistake in that spot. You got to let it go, Tam.
They didn't give themselves a chance. They had an opportunity, touched it first, Now they're in a really bad spot.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Another run with Sanders. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line.
Well, they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now in this